Hey guys, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. I'm Taffany, and I am here in the courtyard garden to do the last of the big heavy duty planting. The last of the structural pieces that will give this area the look and feel that I want, my permanent plantings. And you can kind of see behind me some things going on. So I am going to walk you through what I have and give you some information about it and kind of show you the layout of what I want to do with it. And then we're going to get planting. Today it is an overcast sky, but it's not supposed to be any rain today. We have had rain for the last, it's either 3 or 4 days, and so it's really pretty wet. But I still want to get this in the ground, so I'm going to plant while it's kind of damp and wet out here. But let me show you what I've got, tell you a little bit about it, show you the layout of what I'm going to do, and then let's get started planting. Okay guys, so I'm starting here on the far right end of the garage, right as in if I'm facing the garage, and I have laid out 2 podocarpus, one right there, and the pink truffle azalea. I had to think about the name there for a minute. I believe that's what it is. We're going to get close and get a good look. This is a Podocarpus U. Let me show you the tag. Podocarpus U. And I know that Podocarpus can grow to 50 feet tall. Well, there are different varieties of Podocarpus, first of all. So let me state that. And there are varieties that can get up to 50 feet tall, like a tree. And then there are your typical varieties that get 15 to 20 feet tall. This is a U Podocarpus, which can get up to about 15 feet tall. If it's in an environment it likes, I would guess it could probably get taller. And I know you're like, why would you have that here at the garage as a foundation shrub? Well, the reason I have it here is because as I read about the U Podocarpus, it stated that they are typically grown in narrow hedges of heights of 6 to 12 feet tall, and that they are very easily pruned and the heights are very easy to maintain with whatever height you want. So I thought that I would go for that because number one, it's available here in Houston. So that tells me it should do good and it's easy to get my hands on. And if I needed to replace one, I could do that without having to order from like fast growing trees and wait. The other reason is because this is going to be a good shrub for my climate. It is an Asiatic shrub. Its origins are from Asia, and it is good for zones 7 to 10, I believe. I will put up on the screen that information after I confirm it, but I believe it said 7 to 10. So I have 2 here. And keep in mind, once we get the new siding on the garage, I don't know what the old owners had going on, but it looks like they may have had a either netting or one of those things that you lay in. I don't know, but you can see there. So maybe there was some kind of netting here for game or whatever. I don't know. And also, I don't know what's up with the paint and stuff. And I didn't want to plant here until after we got this done because we've been getting estimates for siding and stuff and a new back door and all these things like that. But I just decided I'm going to go ahead and get it done because I want to see it done regardless. And as you know, if you saw the plans that I had for back here with this structure, I also wanted to have windows here because I kind of want to turn the garage into also a work shed. This end of the garage, it still will be used for all of the things it's used for, but I wanted to put some windows here and have a workbench and stuff since we have this door here, so it can kind of be my work shed for planting and things like that, as well as you know, what you would use a garage for. So on this side, I have the same 2 podocarpus. So we have that balanced. Now where the imbalance may appear to be is with the azaleas. And again, this is I said pink truffle. I apologize. It is pink ruffle azalea. It has really pretty fluffy pink flowers, and it grows 3 to 5 feet tall. So it'll be perfect here. It'll grow just to under what would be the window there. And I think, as you can see, I have cable boxes and stuff here. There are cables going through the ground kind of along this angle here underneath the arbor and here. So I leave openings where the cables are in the yard, but I try to do it without it being obvious that that's what I'm doing. So I know that this space would really do well with 2 of these to fill in this empty part, because this is the longer part of the garage. The door is not centered. So there's more room on, less room on that side and more room on this side. So 2 of the azaleas would do great, but you can see there are cables that are going into the ground there. So I'm not going to probably be able to plant there. So I've got it over just a little bit. So we're going to try to plant here where it looks good and it's not obvious that we're trying to dodge cables. And so that means that it's not likely that I will be able to put a second one there. But yes, that is the look, and it actually just makes such a huge difference with having these evergreen structures there, and it gives it such a complete look. And the other thing I want to get planted today, I went out looking for another white salvia, and they did not have another. They had red but not white, but I saw these beautiful purplish pink salvias. They are gorgeous, and it is called Salvia Wendy's Wish. So I am going to put this in place of where the white salvias would be. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to put it over in the long border here somewhere. So that is the plan today. I'm going to plant the purple salvias. We're going to get the podocarpus and the azaleas in ground, and then we are going to celebrate getting this section done. Well, at the main planting structures, that is done. You know, there will still always be plantings to do back here. Every year I can do different outer edgings of these beds. The spinach is supposed to, you know, be permanent, so we'll see how that goes. And in between, I've got marigolds. Next season, it could be another plant. I'll likely do marigolds again. I'm not sure, but, you know, there are spaces here where there's room for plantings. We've got, of course, the zinnias growing here. So, you know, you got the circle bed here where I've got different things. The salvias and the angelonias are obviously perennials, so they will come back next year. But the outer edges, I should be able to plant with whatever I feel like. So there's room for changing and giving a different look while still having a lot of permanent structure back here. So let's get these things in the ground and get a look at what it's going to look like, and then just kind of envision the final product of the garage being done with the windows sitting in between the podocarpus, so that, you know, the azaleas kind of goes like right under the window. Oh wow, this is going to be pretty. All right, let's get planting. All right, guys. Well, I've got everything done. I am exhausted. I ran into a couple of technical difficulties, so I had to kind of move things over a little bit and, work around pipes and cables. So I am exhausted. It's humid and I'm hungry and all of that wrapped into one. So let me show you kind of what it looks like. As you can kind of see from behind me, it looks so filled in and green and lush and gorgeous. I'm just loving how everything is turned out. So let's walk into the courtyard garden so you can see what it looks like with the last of the structural foundation plants, the main things that are going to be there permanently, so you can see what it looks like. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so I am starting back on the walkway a little bit so you can get an overall view of what it looks like with that greenery just sticking up over the white picket fence and everything like that. Look at this, guys. Oh my gosh. And that salvia just really stands out. It's gorgeous. So does the Tyrannia. It all is pretty. I can't pick now. So as we come in, we'll start with what we already have had. Of course, we've got the Blue Point juniper with spinach, marigolds and zinnias around it, and then an oregano hedge, which will be an evergreen hedge in place of boxwoods. And then we have a Mystica plant planted right back there at the fence, guarding all of the birds' nests, which are in these faux baskets that are hanging around the courtyard garden. They have nests in them. I didn't put them out for that purpose, but I am glad that they are serving that purpose. But now we have the other bed with the Blue Point juniper and same planting arrangement of spinach, marigolds, zinnias, and an outer edge of what will be an oregano hedge, an evergreen hedge. And then this section over here where you see the lilies and the grasses, that is because there is a huge tree root that is there. So I can't really dig deep enough to put plants there. You can kind of see the tree root right there. I've got a lot of it covered up with the wood mulch that I got from Chip Drop last year. And, to kind of hide it so you don't see the big root, but I couldn't get all of it. But that is what is kind of draped around in that area, roots. So I have grasses and lilies because they do good in environments like that. And then I've got this honeysuckle back there, and the lilies are starting to open up, as you can see. And then as I turn slowly, I know that I had a message to try to slow down because it was making her dizzy. And so I am starting this video. I had other videos out and posted already when I saw your message. So I just want you to know I saw your message, and I'm going to try to slow down. It's hard, even though you're moving slow. Sometimes it just looks like you're going faster than what you really are. And I really can't do too much about that, but I'm going to go as slow as I can. So I just wanted to make that comment so that you know that I got your message. So anyway, here is the salvia with the bumblebees already loving it. And it stands out from a distance even. And it looks good with the Tyrannia and the sage and those grasses. And of course, the opposite side of it are angelonias, as you can see. And now we will step back and look at what's new. We've got the podocarpus here and an azalea. And so let's talk about the problems. So where I originally was trying to plant it, I hit multiple cables as was expected. So I went over as far as I could, and I'm still close to a cable. So I'm hoping it won't be an issue, but I'm over as far as I could. And so as far as being able to do 2 azaleas, obviously that's not going to be an option because of the cables right here. coming out, as I mentioned, but it still looks good anyway. So as I back up, you can see it's spinach, marigolds, and an outer edge of oregano for an evergreen hedge again. And from this direction, that is what it looks like. There's a big bird on top of the trellises in the vegetable garden, sitting right next to the black birds that are come on the trellis. We also have hummingbirds now visiting. So last but not least is the other side, which I didn't have any issues planting over here. No cables, no pipes. I did hit some tree root, but that is okay. And so that looks so good. And then, of course, we already know the back part here with the camellias and the white sun patience. And this bed, which is new, with camellia and white sun patience to mimic this bed. So the other area that I did come across an issue was when I was planting this salvia right here. It is semi above the sprinkler head pipe. There's a sprinkler head right there. And that pipe is obviously coming across here. And then as I turn, there is a sprinkler head there. So those pipes obviously are connecting to those two sprinkler heads. And so that salvia on that side is kind of right on top of that pipe. So we'll see how that goes. So this is what it looks like as I kind of come back to this corner to give you an overall look. Now imagine when the garage is done, what this is going to look like. I mean, look at how this looks now. I'm so excited. I love it. And I can't wait to see what the azaleas are going to look like too. Okay, guys, I had to stop for a minute because I felt like this azalea, I was looking at more of the back instead of a nice full front, so I turned it and it looks much better. Oh my goodness. Is that type A or what? All right, so we're done here, and I absolutely love everything. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Everything looks so good. I'm so happy with how everything is turning out back here in this courtyard garden. Thank you for being on this journey with me. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Click the notification bell, give all the videos a thumbs up, and share them with your family and friends so we can all garden together. Make sure you get out and do something you love today. And until next time, I will see you later. So take care. Bye.